Well, good morning. This is February 2nd, 2025. It is Groundhog's Day, and if you're tuning into this, my name is Anita, and you're watching the first ever Conversations with the Congregation. This is videos geared towards getting to know our elders, our elder congregational members. We would like to pick their brain and see what they know and see what they're going to share some valuable life lessons with us and tell some funny stories, and we're going to have a few laughs and have a great time. If you like what you see and hear today, please like and subscribe, and that'll just help get our channel started. We are sitting here in Salem Lutheran Church in Andrew, Iowa. We are affiliated with two other churches from the Trinity Parish of Jackson County. Jackson County is located in eastern Iowa. We're flanked right along the Mississippi River on our eastern border. In the northern part of Jackson County is our St. Donatus Church. It's St. John's Lutheran Church of St. Donatus, Iowa. And a little further south is St. Paul's Lutheran Church of Lamont. And we are sitting in Salem Lutheran Church here in Andrew. And Salem was formed by German immigrants back in the 1800s. Today's guest is not quite that old, but he's been around a little while, and a lifelong resident of Iowa. He's on the church council, and as am I, and we're both elders, and we've served here at Salem for 1 year. And also, Dwayne is a gifted singer and has been on the church choir for many, many years. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Dwayne Barr.
Good morning, folks. We're just going to have a nice little visit here, Anita told me, so we're just going to go with that.
That sounds good. That sounds real good. Yep. So you grew up were you born in Iowa?
Yeah, I was born in Makogata in the hospital. Okay. And at that time, my folks lived down in the Spragueville area, and they started their farming careers down there.
I see.
And then later on, and I was baptized in Salem Lutheran in Spragueville.
Oh, okay.
So, and then that was 54, and then Mom and Dad moved up to their farm just south of Lamont in 55 and 56. So that's where I grew up at.
And what year were you born, Dwayne?
1954.
1954. What do you remember the most about where you grew up at? How would you describe it, I guess?
Yeah, we grew up on a farm,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know, a lot of responsibilities, I guess, on a farm as far as taking care of the animals and the buildings and each other.
Yes.
We had to work together at it to make it work. And
yes, work together as a family.
Yep. You bet.
Yep. What are your fondest memories of your parents or grandparents?
Oh man, well, we had a lot of holidays together.
Exactly.
A lot of Christmases, Easters, and everything. And, I guess the fondest memory, we always had this cousin, Gloria, that come from Arizona, or she lives in Arizona now, and they would come and spend a week with us on the farm. That was always a pretty exciting week for everybody because, they were kind of town kids, and Arizona's not a lot like Iowa, I understand. And so,
absolutely.
So as they would follow us through our day and watch what we do, it was really exciting to show them the mundane chores that we always did. They found it pretty exciting.
I bet they did. Yeah. It's totally different than.
And then we would always end the week with Dad rented different pastures for his stock cow herd, and every pasture had a stream through it. So we would end the week with a picnic down by the stream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And so, what did your siblings and you do for fun? Did you do anything extra? Picnics and things like that, and then kind of what is your fondest memories of you and your family together? I guess you kind of answered that with
the family together. That would be that picnic deal. As far as what we played a lot in the yard. At the end of the day,
That's true.
Especially in the summertime, if the sun was up late, we had bicycles and little pedal tractors, and oh my gosh, Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
you probably-
remember farming the sidewalk with a little tractor. You
Totally,
know, hands and
yeah.
knees. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That Joe Diffie song, farmed out 1,000 acres on my knees or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what you did. Yeah.
Sure, you thought of that. Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Did you have any nicknames growing up as a kid?
No, not really.
Not really. Yeah.
No,
Just Dwayne and
Yeah,
Yep.
we were
Yep.
we were all called by our names,
Okay. That's good.
and it depends on the tone that it was delivered as to how fast you answered.
Exactly. Exactly. And speaking of that, what did you do as a child to maybe annoy your parents, or what was the?
At times, it seems like everything I did annoyed them. But
Especially when you're a teenager. Right?
yeah. I really can't think of anything I really intentionally,
Yeah.
maybe mumble under my breath, but they
Yeah.
found that annoying.
I
But,
bet.
yeah, but I knew better than to say it out loud. So
Right. What was your first car that you ever had?
my first car was a 1969 Plymouth Satellite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a nice car,
Yeah.
for 69.
Yeah. Is that the first car you bought then?
Yes.
Yep. Awesome.
Yep. Paid
That's awesome.
$900 for it.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Bought it from Dennis Heiserman, actually, a good friend of mine. We kind of lost touch over the years, but
Right.
anyway, so yeah,
That's
he
pretty cool.
come back from the Air Force and he sold his car and I bought it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. What was the first movie that you ever saw in a theater, or even in a drive-in
Wow.
theater?
and I just tilt my hand here. Anita did give me these questions the other day, so I did get some forethought into them. My first recollection of a movie wasn't in a theater or a drive-in. It was in school,
Oh, really?
and they had a
Oh, like one of those projectors?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. And I think the name of the movie was Monkey's Uncle.
Oh,
And
really?
it had something to do with a scientist and how a monkey and a scientist got switched around. And anyway, that's my earliest
interesting.
recollection.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
That
Yep.
would have had to been
Yep.
probably in the
Gosh.
probably mid '60s, I would say.
Yep.
So
Nice.
yeah,
And you went to school in?
I went to school in Andrew
Andrew,
all
yep,
12 years. Yep, K through
Sounds
12.
good.
You bet.
Yeah.
We all did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And then my
Yeah, with the-
sisters and brother and all my kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, all our children graduated from Andrew.
yeah. How many was in your class? It gives you an idea what
Um,
size of school we.
I think the graduating class was maybe 38,
Okay.
39.
Yep. I think
something
ours
like
was
that.
a little less actually. Yep.
Mhm,
Yep. So, yep. And then, what was your first job you ever?
My first real job.
Besides working on the farm, of course.
Yeah. Some summers I helped Milton Cornelius. He owned the telephone company. Him and his dad, and I would clear brush under the lines. But my first real job was a Caterpillar Tractor Company in the
Oh,
Quad
really?
Cities. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I worked there 16 years until
Oh,
they closed the
that's-
plant.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a real good job. Who influenced you growing up? Like, who was your mentor?
Well, I have to say Dad.
Okay. Yep.
I didn't
Kind
have
of
a
a-
lot of relationships with a lot of other people, to be honest with you.
Kind of a
You know.
man of, or usually these farmers are basically vets and mechanics and everything all in one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've picked a good one to
Yeah,
mentor from.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, and rumor always has it, like in the early 70s, 73 is when I started at Caterpillar. You could walk into any place, and if they knew
Yes.
you were a farm kid,
Yes.
you got hired.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
Yeah, because
so-
they knew that you knew
Yeah,
how to work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and you knew a
And had
wide
a-
variety of
Good sense of
skill sets. Yeah.
skill sets already. Exactly. Yep. What advice did your dad ever give you that you thought, man, that's the best advice he ever gave me?
Wow.
keep your
Keep your head down.
stay out of trouble, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of any one specific thing. I think
Yeah.
his advice was I just watched him.
Yep. Probably hands on
And
kind of.
and you
Yep.
you took on responsibility to
Oh,
be
sure.
responsible, I guess.
Even as a young boy, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think he ever verbalized that, but you could see that,
Right.
in both, Dad and Mom.
Yeah.
You know.
He relied on you for a
Yeah,
lot of things.
yeah,
for
and,
sure.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, how did you meet your spouse?
Well, that's a good one. We've known each other a long time. We were married 50 years
Wow.
here this last April 20th.
Wow, that's amazing.
But I can remember Diane, my wife, being a helper at Bible school.
Oh, really?
And she's 2 years older than I am. But she likes to say one. But anyway, so, you know, yeah, she was a helper in Bible school, and I was kind of like, you know, I'm going to say maybe like a freshman or sophomore in high school, and I was here too. And
Sure.
and I can't say we really, you know, that's kind of when we learned to know each other. You know,
Sure.
there was no, of course, I didn't date back at that time or anything like that, but
Sure.
that's, I think, when we noticed each other.
Yeah.
And so, and then, I don't know, then she graduated like the next year. And so then, and we started dating when, yeah, it was my senior year.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, her first year in college. And so,
Very
yeah.
good. Very good. Did you go to college then, Dwayne? Or?
no,
No.
no,
Yep.
no.
And then, what age were you when you got married?
19.
19. Yep. It's pretty young. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. 50 years is a long time. What's the secret to a long-lasting marriage, in your opinion?
An open mind.
Open mind.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah, you really do have to have an open mind because
Yeah.
you
Can't
don't
be
know.
too rigid. Or,
Well, you don't always get to win, and you don't always have to lose.
that's a
And
good
you
way
know,
to
and
look at it.
winning, losing, that's not a good terminology as far as, but you know, give and take, I guess, would be better. You know,
Yeah.
and get over it. You know, there's times
Don't hold
that,
grudges.
that's
and-
right.
Yep,
There's times
yep.
things just aren't going to go real smooth, but
That's true.
Just get
Yep.
over it because
Yep.
you're not the
So-
only person in the world.
That's true. That's good advice, Dwayne. What do children take for granted now that you never had growing up, or what things would you would like your children to maybe experience that you did and they didn't?
Wow. What do they take for granted?
Yeah,
I get, you know, social media always comes to mind.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, be it phones, the internet. You know, I think sometimes they take for granted, not, I mean, social media can be abused, but the vast amount of knowledge that they have at a
At their fingertips.
tap of a button, you bet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they can,
Right.
yeah.
It's a definitely a different
Oh,
world. than
yeah, yeah.
than, you know, the schoolings that we
Yeah, when we were in school, we had a set of encyclopedias.
exactly.
And
That's what we learned on. Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
so if you had a report to do, you know, you had to learn how to look
Yep.
things up and
You
find your resources.
that
you know,
went to the library and had to.
yeah, we didn't go to the library.
I didn't either, really, but
Yeah.
that's what you could
That's
do.
what. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It was
and then
an option.
the school
yeah.
had a library too, which
Yeah,
is good.
you
So
bet. And
yeah,
we did
yeah,
utilize that. Yeah.
yep. What events over your life impacted you the most? Like maybe one or
I
two.
suppose marriage
Uh-huh.
and being a dad.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
And,
those kind of change everything.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Change everything.
All the rules are changed.
especially with children. I'm
Oh
sure.
my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And marriage too. You
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.
What about grandchildren? Children, is that a little different?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grandchildren are a whole lot easier. You can, yeah. You get to be the good guy all the time, then, you know.
That's
but,
very good.
But not all the time either. I mean,
Yeah.
I've come down on a couple of my grandkids for things. Nothing major, but
Sure.
you know, their parents do a good job.
Good. That's
So
very good.
you know, I'm just there to
Right.
back up what they lay down.
Very good. Very good.
So,
What was the best day of your life? Can you say? Or a couple of good days.
wow. Best days in my life. Well, I probably should say baptism and confirmation and all that, but and I'm baptized, I'm confirmed, but I really don't remember those days. I don't.
Sure.
But
Sure.
so I guess best days would
Like
I suppose wedding day
sure.
and when
then-
our kids were born.
Yeah. Like if you could spend a day just doing what you wanted to do, what would that be? Like
I don't know. I've been retired now for 5 years,
Yeah.
and a week after I retired, I got another job. So
that's
So
true.
I-
You haven't
you know,
slowed
I-
down too much.
no, but yeah, I don't know.
Like a
Go for a drive with Diane.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
we
true. You
like
like to
doing
travel.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love to drive. And one of the chapters of my life, I drove a truck, and so
Oh, okay.
we really do like just driving nowhere.
Yeah,
For,
yeah. And
for
then
hours, taking off and
stopping at places you've never been before.
yeah, that's
and,
right.
And,
Yeah,
meeting
yeah.
different people. And
Yep, you bet.
Absolutely.
You bet.
Yeah. What are you most proud of and that you can describe?
Oh wow.
Like,
I suppose I'd have to say my children.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I would
they're all successes.
exactly.
You know, and just a footnote: none of them are living in my basement. But no, I guess that would have to be.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
something to be very proud of. It's
Yeah,
your legacy kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And they did a lot of it themselves, but
Sure.
hopefully they seen a few right things from mom and dad.
Oh, I'm sure they have. Yeah. What was the kindest thing that anyone has ever done for you? There's a lot of kind people here at Andrew.
There really
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
There really is.
It is a church family around here for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I can remember one time. I can't remember if we were on strike at the plant or laid off or what, and I had a member of the church come and says, "Well, how things going for you, Dwayne?" I said, okay, and he says, "Seriously," he says, "Financially, are you okay? You making your payments?" And I says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm, getting part-time work here and there," and he says, "Well, if you need something, you let me know."
Oh wow.
And that's
very nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a guy that, well, you would kind of expect it from, but
Yep.
you never expect it from.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But it was nice that he was kind enough to recognize that you might
Yeah,
need
that I
some
might
help.
be behind the eight ball, yeah.
Yep.
But
And
yeah.
wanted to see how you're doing. And
Yeah,
that's very
but,
nice. Yeah.
But other members of the congregation, I worked part-time for them off and on. And
Yep.
there was a short layoff or strike. I'm not sure
Yep.
what it was.
Yep.
So anyway, but it
those
was
times
nice.
can get a little.
It's nice to have that security
Absolutely.
behind you.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's very nice of that guy to come up to you.
Yeah.
And you said it was a coworker or
I was a member of the church.
a member of the church?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. An older member at that time. He's no longer with us. He
Oh, wow.
passed on 5-6 years ago.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah,
What was his name?
I'm not saying.
Okay. That's fine.
I don't think he'd want that said.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it was just between us.
Oh
It
yeah,
was-
no, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I get it. What is your what's your favorite quote or saying or must read book?
I guess my favorite saying is you only got one chance to do it right.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of the way I've lived. I mean, not that I've always done everything right, but
Yeah.
you only got one chance to do the
and
right thing.
You want to do your best.
So, yep, you bet.
And one thing is nice that I always felt in my work is do a good job so the next guy has it easier. That's it's kind of, that reminded
You
me
bet.
of that what you just said. So
Yeah, you bet. That's a good saying also.
Thank you. What important life lessons would you like to pass along? Like if there's one or two that, boy, if you're talking to like a room full of high school students or something like that, like
I suppose be kind.
Yeah.
And
be humble and kind.
yeah. And I've always kind of not seeked out, but I've always tried to be aware of, the person on the outside of the crowd. The person that's not in the clique.
I see what you're
because
saying. Yeah.
that guy or gal standing out there deserves attention too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah. I have a favorite quote that goes something like, draw attention to the flowers in the yard that pass the broken gate or whatever, so you're not looking at the broken gate, you're looking at
You're right. Yeah. See the
something.
beauty in
See
it.
the beauty
Yeah,
in other
because
people.
there is
Yeah.
beauty in
There's a beauty in everyone.
You bet.
Yeah,
You
for
bet.
sure.
And you
Yep.
just got to search that out sometime.
That's absolutely right. Yep. What? Okay. Is there still anything on your bucket list, Dwayne, that you'd like to do?
Oh, my bucket is a barrel.
Well, hopefully.
There's a lot of things I want to do
Yeah.
yet. I just, yeah.
Yeah. What's the top one or two? Boy, I'd just love to do this. And
Yeah. Indeed, I really can't say. I really,
You're not gonna-
I want to travel more.
Yep. You're not going to jump out of a plane and with
No,
a parachute on.
no, there's no reason to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, to travel more and you know, and we
See more
kind of
things.
we kind of wrestle with that right now. Should I? I mean, I mentioned I retired 5-6 years ago, and then I got another part-time job. But you know, it's a really nice part-time job. I get to meet a lot of people, a lot of people that are shut in and
That's
need
true.
to visit with somebody, and
Well,
I
I'm sure
like
they-
to visit. You
I'm
know,
sure they
so,
love that. Yeah, and
but-
you not only provide a kind of a delivery service for
Mm-hmm.
with your job, is that you're you know, getting people to
Well, I've kind of taken on as
yeah
a
it's
ministry
almost like
to
a
sort.
yeah
You know,
yeah almost
I
like
mean,
a
I've,
fellowship kind of.
I've,
No, that's pretty nice.
You know, I've
Would
met a
you-
lot of nice people.
Would you like to?
I get a hug or two sometimes from some of these
Oh, I bet
old people that you know they're just so thankful for what we do.
that's very
You
nice.
know, and some you know some it's just not handing them a bag. It's delivering the personal touch with it.
Very good.
You know, I mean, I've had customers hug me. I've prayed with a couple.
Oh wow,
You know, and that's
very good, Dwayne.
so anyway. So I need to quit that job though and travel a little bit.
That's true.
Anyway, we'll see how that works out.
Would you travel like across the pond?
No,
or
we've
more in
we've been
the
abroad
United-
several times.
Oh, have
There's a lot of things in the States here that
Yeah, there
that we
is
would
so
like to
much to
see.
see.
There
Yeah,
really is.
there really is. It's a beautiful United States for
Yep,
sure.
yep.
This is kind of a funny question here. If you were a bird, what would it be and why? There's lots of birds out there.
There are a lot of birds out
Yep.
there.
I was
I tell you.
I was actually asked this at an interview, at a job interview years
Oh, really?
ago. Yeah.
yeah.
And it pretty much stumped me like it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm thinking. You know, at first I thought a red-tailed hawk because they're really kind of cool.
Oh,
They
yeah,
sit and
yeah.
they, you know, how they fly. They're a beautiful bird. But then
Nice
I
size.
wouldn't want to think of myself as a bird of prey.
Oh, that's true.
I
Yeah.
don't want to pick on anybody.
Right.
You know,
No,
so
it's
then
true,
I think we have several hummingbird feeders out behind our house. And the hummingbirds are really
That
neat.
would be, yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna go with hummingbird.
Sounds good. I like that. I like that. That's a good answer. Good answer. And then, what does being a Christian mean to you? I think we've kind of touched on that a little bit with.
Yeah,
with,
I guess down to brass tacks and toenails, being a Christian is I'm forgiven.
Good.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not expected to be perfect
Right.
because I'm not.
Exactly. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Yep. Very good. And if you could pass on some faith advice or to, like, say, you know, a Bible school or something like that,
Yeah,
you know,
I guess I would repeat that be kind, and just know that there's something bigger than you in this world.
yes. Yes.
You
Very
know.
good.
There's always a Father in heaven that we can
Yes.
talk to.
Yes. If you could talk to Jesus, what would you say to him?
Good job.
Yeah,
don't know.
that'd be a tough one. That would
Yeah,
be a tough one to answer
one.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, Dwayne, how would you like to be remembered in
Mm-hmm.
this world?
Yeah. You know, if I leave, when people say, you know what, he was a good guy.
Yeah, I think so. And you can't ask for much more than that.
No,
you know?
no.
Yep.
No, if they can just say, Dwayne, he was a good guy.
He was a good guy,
He always
yeah.
had a story and a
Yep.
smile. And
Yep. Made time for
I'm
people.
good with that. Made time for people, you
and
bet.
yeah, you just prove that with your job. You do that extra little bit to make someone happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you, Dwayne, for
Yeah.
interviewing with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was fun to get to know you.
It
yeah.
is. I've enjoyed working
to
with
know
you the
you
last
more.
couple of years.
Well,
Anita.
thank you very much. And that ends our session today. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.